Hello, everybody, and welcome into another edition of the Rocky Top Rundown, your one-stop shop for all things Tennessee athletics. I'm Joey Peterson.
And I'm Bryson Wright.
This past weekend was full of Tennessee athletics, as you could probably tell from Bryson's lack of a voice. So let's get started with some Tennessee football. This past Saturday, your 11th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers hosted the 20th-ranked Florida Gators in Neyland Stadium. And to say it was an electric atmosphere would be a serious understatement. Vol fans and Vol players alike looked to beat Florida for the first time since 2016 and just the second time in the last 18 years. College game day was in town, the stadium was checkerboarded, the fans were rowdy, and the stage was set perfectly for the Vols to end the Gators' streak. We jump in straight to the second quarter, and the Gators are driving. Anthony Richardson delivers a beautiful ball to tight end Keon Zipperer, and he breaks not one arm tackle, not two arm tackles, but three arm tackles as he rumbles his way into the end zone to give the Gators the lead. On the following drive, Hendon Hooker delivers a strike to open wide receiver Brew McCoy running untouched down the sideline. And you can hear the crowd erupt as the Vols are now set up to take the lead right back, which they do 2 plays later as Hooker takes it in off the right tackle on a designed QB run. After another Gator touchdown, the Vols have the ball back with a minute left in the half, and Hooker throws a deep ball to a diving Ramel Keaton for a 50-yard gain. Now, to the second half, Vols still up only 3. The pocket collapses, and Hendon Hooker Houdini somehow escapes. Gets the first down, plants his right leg, and then it's off to the races as he picks up 40 yards on the run. Now, to the fourth quarter, Vols on 3rd and goal, read option give to Jalen Wright, and he patiently punches it into the end zone, and some Gator chomps ensue as the Vols go up 17. With under a minute left, Richardson and the Gators are looking for life, and they find it here as Richardson delivers a strike to Ricky Pearsall, and the crowd quiets just a little. Just 2 plays later, after a motion left, the ball is snapped, and Richardson again delivers it to Pearsall, but this time it's for a touchdown. The Gators would end up getting the ball back after an onside kick, just down 5 points. However, Kamal Haddon would make the game-sealing interception as Richardson gave it one last heave as time expired. Neyland Stadium on Saturday was buzzing all night long as over 101,000 fans were giving their all for Tennessee and trying and succeeding to make it impossible for the Gators to function. Hendon Hooker was nothing short of exceptional on the day as he ended with over 460 yards of total offense with 3 total touchdowns. Most importantly, though, he continues his 2022 campaign interceptionless, and even more importantly than that, undefeated. Now the Vols are 4-0 on the season and have moved into the consensus top 10, reaching number 8 in the AP poll and number 9 in the coaches poll. It's the first time inside of the top 10 since 2016 and the highest ranking since 2006. Tennessee will have a bye week this weekend before heading to Death Valley on October 8th to take on the LSU Tigers.
The Tennessee football team was not the only team in action this past week, as the Lady Vols volleyball team also took on Missouri, looking to snap their recent 3-game losing streak. We start here in the first set with Tennessee already in the lead. Missouri is looking to score, but it's Natalie Hayward who gets a nice kill. It's such a luxury to have your setter be able to have offensive game like that. And still in the first set with Tennessee looking to build the lead, it's Emily Merrick who gets her first kill of the game. And Tennessee has set point, and it's Natalie Hayward again as she wins the battle at the net, and Tennessee is up 1-0. The fans are loving it, but Missouri would not go away quietly, and it all starts during this very nice volley. Tennessee tries to send it back over, but it's Anna Dixon who gets the block. But it would not be enough as Tennessee won set 2 as well. Here they are near the end of set 3, and this time it's Claudia Pollock who gets the block and gives Tennessee a chance at match point. And with that match point in set 3, it's Morgan Fingal who gets the block as the Lady Vols sweep Missouri in 3 sets, snapping their 3-game losing streak. The Lady Vols also took on Texas A&M in a 2-day doubleheader in College Station, taking a split on the weekend. On Saturday, after dropping the first set, Tennessee took 2 straight before the Aggies came back and won the match in 5 sets. Morgan Fingal led the Lady Vols in kills. However, Caroline Muth led the Aggies with 30. In Sunday's match, the Lady Vols would sweep the Aggies in 3 very close sets. Erica Lovett had 18 kills in the sweep. Up next, Tennessee will take on Florida at Thompson-Boling Arena on Wednesday, October 5th at 7 p.m.
You may have noticed this season that the Tennessee volleyball and soccer teams were wearing blue jerseys. Well, those are called Summitt Blues in honor of the legendary Pat Summitt. Our very own Ryan Sylvia went out to get the story behind them.
I'm Ryan Sylvia with the Rocky Top Rundown, and today we're going to be taking a look at the newly debuted Summitt Blue jerseys that UT's women's soccer, softball, volleyball, and basketball teams will be wearing this year. The soccer team got it kicked off against Alabama on Thursday, and I'll be sitting down with Tyler Wombles of thevolreport.com to get his opinions on the new look. It's impossible to talk about the blue jerseys without first discussing who they're named after. Pat Summitt. Summitt won 8 NCAA titles, appeared in 18 Final Fours, won 16 SEC tournaments, and claimed 16 SEC regular season titles in her time at Tennessee. She did all of this while pushing women's sports into what we know it as today.
I think what you saw with what Pat Summitt did is she came in and she really made women's sports important. I mean, she came in with an era of, oh, we're not just going to be, 1B to men's sports 1A, we're going to be the 1A too. And you still see that impact, and you can talk to, women's sports administrators and coaches and just different personnel across the landscape even today when Pat Summitt's been gone for a little while, and you still hear people just speak without even being prompted about the impact she made.
The new jerseys come in conjunction with the 50th anniversary of Title IX, along with honoring the late Pat Summitt's legacy.
It takes something that's unique in Tennessee's color palette. It takes something that, is different, and it amplifies it. And it says this is going to be our identity, and this is something that we're going to celebrate. In Tennessee, Danny White said it, in his statement when they announced the Summitt Blue jerseys, is that, Tennessee has been a leader in women's athletics, and, it's the truth. And I think these jerseys really do exemplify that. And obviously, Tennessee being a leader in women's athletics just ultimately all does go back to Pat Summitt and her legacy.
Now only one question remains. Do the jerseys look good?
It looks good. I think, obviously Tennessee's, orange, and you have that normal palette, but the Lady Vols, and specifically the basketball team, the women's basketball team, have always had that blue accent. And I think the men's basketball team used it a little bit once too. So I think they look good. I think it's a different. Fans often like to see something a little different. Obviously, that's why uniforms are a big deal, and a lot of fans track that. And I think it looks good. I think it's not only a nod to Tennessee's history and its status as a leader in women's athletics, but just I think they look pretty cool too. I think it goes well with the orange, and I think it's a cool alternate uniform to wear whenever they feel like it.
For the Rocky Top Rundown, I'm Ryan Sylvia.
Thanks, Ryan. Speaking of the Summitt Blue jerseys, the Tennessee Lady Vols soccer team debuted them this past week when they took on number 6 Alabama before heading to Lexington to face the Kentucky Wildcats. Let's take a look at the highlights for both of those matches. Starting off with the matchup against number 6 Alabama, the sophomore Jordan Fusco scores from deep. The goalkeeper had absolutely no chance of reeling that one in as it banged off the right post and into the goal just behind her. But Bama is ranked high for a reason, and it's because of plays like this from midfielder Rena Reyes as she finds the gap and puts the lead out of reach. Looks like the Crimson Tide are good at the original football as well. The Lady Vols would lose 4-2 to Alabama in a hard-fought match as the Tide extend their win streak over Tennessee to 3 games. Now in Lexington, Kentucky, the Lady Vols square off against the Wildcats. Claudia DiPasupal drops it in the box for the Jada Thomas goal. With that goal, Jada Thomas moves up to second all-time in goals in Tennessee history. Later on, freshman Cameron Simmons runs past the defender and puts the ball past the goalie to put up Tennessee 3-0. Not lying down, though, Kentucky's Hannah Richardson fights for the ball and sends a heater into the net that puts the Wildcats on the board. Unfortunately for Kentucky, that wouldn't be enough for them as UT would go on to win 4-1. The Lady Vols would improve to 6-3-1 on the season after the weekend split. Up next for Tennessee, a trip to Oxford, Mississippi to take on Ole Miss this Friday, September 30th.
Well, everyone, there is always plenty of sports and big matchups going on here on Rocky Top, and if you can't keep up with it all, don't worry, you can join us again next week for all the updates you need.
Until then, get out there and support the Vols this week. For myself, Bryson, and all our crew here, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.